I'm here, I'm by myself, so forgive me. I'm checking things out. Okay, mute. And all right, comments. Gotta get comments. Okay, I'm here. Good morning, Charlie and Cheryl. What is happening here? Let's see. And Cindy. Okay, good. You guys are here. So I am by myself today, if you didn't notice, because it's Wednesday. So I have the iPad going for the video, but I have my laptop here so I can check everything and check your comments. So I apologize if I'm a little distracted and I keep looking down, but I'm all by myself. So I'm just gonna jump right in because this is not our normal, our normal day or normal anything. So I'm just gonna start right now because it's 11:01. I usually wait till 11:02. I don't know why. So I am doing a Facebook Live today on Wednesday because I think some of you might have forgotten, and I know it was a while back. It was, almost 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, that I had mentioned I would not be here this Friday. So I know things have been a little bit wacky the past couple of weeks. Last week I was in a different state on an hour later. Today, this week I'm on a different day, but I would rather see you than not see you at all. So well, actually starting tomorrow, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to just a little, I keep calling it Friendsgiving in my head. I think I'm the only one that's calling it that, but I'm going away just to do some sewing and some relaxing and, just kind of shake it all off. I don't know about you guys, but the past couple of weeks have just been like, bleh. Not my favorite weeks, but that's okay because I'm going to come back and I'll be refreshed. So I'm just looking at some comments here. Just good mornings. Good morning. Hi, everybody. And, oh, Cindy, I'm glad you said that. Cindy said her new feet came in that I suggested for the HD9. I did just want to make a quick little comment about the feet that I had talked about the last time we were here, those compensating Teflon feet. Please remember, everybody has different machines. And the machine that I was referring to, my nose itches, it was for my HD9. The HD9 is a straight stitch, single needle, industrial, semi-industrial machine. That's what those feet are made for. So even if you have a high shank machine, a different kind, more often than not, if you have the snap-on feet, the kind of feet that you just hit a button or you pop it on, those feet will probably not work for you. I know they're inexpensive, but I don't want you to waste your money and I don't want you to hurt your machine. So the feet that I was talking about was more for the HD9, a 1600 Janome, the Jukies, things like that are the straight stitch, single needle, semi or industrial machines. So I don't want anyone to get their hopes up or to break anything on their machine. So I'm sorry if that wasn't clear. It is in the description on Amazon, and I did, try to put as much of the information on the Facebook page as possible. So thank you, Chris. I do think that everyone deserves a break, and I am taking one, which is not an easy thing for me to do. So I just wanted to touch base on that. So before we talk about the show and where I was and where I'm going and all that, I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. First things first, I carried around my Aria the entire time that I was in Texas. So I took it on the plane, I took it around the show. I don't think there was one time that I didn't take it with me. I had brought with me my Daybreak wallet and my Ginger wallet just in case I wanted to kind of condense and just take, cash and a credit card, but I carried the bag the whole time. As far as convenience is concerned, love the bag. I think the designer did a pretty good job. I'm kidding. So I'm not though. I really do love this bag, and I feel like this bag was like my like my transition, my gateway bag, because I've been carrying a wallet only for so long. So what I love is that with the Aria, you have this right here. I had my chapstick, I have my credit cards, my cash. I didn't have to take my bag off my shoulder. I barely had to open it unless I was looking for something different. So I love that. The one thing I'm not gonna say not happy about, the one thing that was a little like, ooh, the vinyl. The vinyl is heavy. And I told you guys when I finished this that the vinyl was heavy. I don't have a lot of stuff in this bag and it's heavy. And feeling that compared to this Cork one, the Cork is so much lighter. So I think in the future, I will still play with vinyl. It's not something we carry. It's not something I have any plans of carrying, at least not any time in the near future. vinyl, like I was telling my mom, is like cork. Once you get into it, you're going to want all of it. And there's so many different prints and solids and everything. So as of right now, I have no plans for vinyl, but this bag was definitely heavy. It was definitely, I felt it on my shoulder just because of that extra weight of the vinyl. I think the cork probably would have been a little bit better. And I did not overweigh, like I didn't put too much stuff in my bag. So that was just a note. Let me see here. So I'm trying to look at you guys and go back on comments. Let's see. So Terry wants to know what projects I'm going to be sewing. I don't know, but I have some insight on that in a minute. And Amy, who is here, Amy Meek, works for Janome. She is one of their educators, and there is an easy glide foot and a plate for other Janomes. Awesome. So Amy, I hope it's okay. If somebody has a question, maybe if they have a certain model machine and want to know if something works, would you maybe answer that for them? Maybe you guys can comment back on Amy and ask her that, because I do work with Janome, but I'm not up here where I have all that knowledge. She's got more knowledge than I do. So let's see here. Cindy, you tried to look for the vinyl. The vinyl, this one on here came from Frog Jelly Leather, which I tagged a week or so ago, and I found them on Etsy. I don't know if they have their own website or not. I can't remember, but I did find them on Etsy. So it's Frog, like the animal, Jelly Leather, I believe. But if you look up Frog Jelly, you'll find them. And let me see here. The cork one, yes, I will hold up the cork one for you. So that is the Aria in Garden Bloom with tomato. And I do love this built-in wallet. It makes me super happy. Like, I'm so excited with how it came out, and it's been a lot of fun carrying that around. So let me read a couple more comments. So, I agree with Heather. She said she went from vinyl to cork and she doesn't want to go back. I love the vinyl. I do. I think it's super cool. But as you know, I sell cork, and I have worked with cork for way longer than vinyl, and I do really like it. I like that I can iron the cork. I couldn't iron the vinyl, or else I would ruin it. I like that I don't have to worry about what machine I'm sewing on. Some of the layers on this bag got kind of thick. I think my 15,000 would very slowly get through it. I think I would have to make a lot of adjustments. I made it on the HD9, so I didn't have to worry about it. I love that with cork, I don't have to worry at all. I can sew it on any machine. So the pattern on the cork bag, the pattern name, this is my Aria cork crossbody. The cork pattern is Garden Bloom, and that's on the website right now. We just ordered a ton of it. So, I'm just kind of playing around. I am a designer and I am a business owner, but I still am a bag maker. So I like to play around with stuff. So I definitely, had fun with this bag. I love this bag. I think it looks amazing. I think it looks store-bought. I just think I would rather go back to a cork bag. I think I would rather carry that. So, and Charlie, you are right. Charlie said, I think everyone has their preferences. I noticed that people who sew with vinyl love Decoville, but notice that people here aren't as Decoville or dye. You are right. I will say that when the Decoville comes in, which it still hasn't, I sell the majority of it through Etsy. And like I think I've mentioned this before, my Etsy customers, for the most part, I have no interaction with them. Like, I talk to you guys, I get emails from you guys, we talk, on Facebook. You watch my Facebook videos and my YouTube videos. Most of the people on Etsy, it's like they're just shoppers. They just stop in, they get what they want, and they go on their way. I don't have a ton of them that transition to the other parts of my business, if that makes sense. Some of them do, but it's much more rare than, like, the people on Facebook watch YouTube. It's funny. So I'm rambling now. And Shannon says she sews with vinyl a lot. I know she does. She does awesome work. And she doesn't use Decoville as much as Decor Bond. See, everybody has a preference. So my preference, I'm starting to realize, is cork. I do love Decoville, but I just hate the fact that I can never get it, and it's so narrow. So I guess my preference is Decor Bond with a side of vinyl and Decoville. I like those two. So, one other thing, and then we'll talk about the show a little bit. I have something that I just this morning put on the pop-up sale page. And let me go over with you why and what it is. And it's something we will not be getting anymore. This is regular cork, okay? You guys are familiar with it. You buy it from me. This is the regular cork. So you can see it has a nice weight to it. It's about 8/10 to a millimeter in thickness, depends on, you know, which one it is. They vary slightly. So that's our regular cork. Well, I don't know if I made a mistake or the manufacturer made a mistake. This is, excuse me, this is the other manufacturer that I don't order as much from, but they sent me a different one. And can you see how flimsy it is? This is a light cork. It is black, same cork on the front, same quality, but can you see the backing? It's the natural color. So I think that this will hold up nicely on smaller projects and, you know, not so heavy duty things. Notebook covers, wallets, small pieces, accent pieces. You can interface it. You could put decor bond or Decoville on this. But I ended up getting some of this and it's not what I wanted and it's not something we're gonna sell. I like to stick with the same quality across the board. I don't wanna have different levels of corks because I think it gets confusing. I know some people do that. So I have 8 pieces of this. They're 18 by 54. They are half price. They're $24 for a full piece. I think that you're going to be fine with this as long as you're not expecting that it's going to be that same weight, because it's not. You can even see the drape on this, you know, versus this. It's different. So I think I might have ordered it by accident, or maybe they sent me the wrong thing. I have no idea. But I don't want it sitting around here collecting dust, and I'm not going to order it again. So if you're interested, it's like a one-time only deal. It's on the pop-up sale page. And I know some of you are probably wondering if anything else is going on the pop-up sale page, and I am doing my best to try to get stuff on there. Just remember, it is a sale page, a clearance page, so I'm not going to always have stuff there. But I was kind of thinking last night about some other things that might need to work their way over. So let me go through some comments here. Nancy loves cork and vinyl. I mean, I love cork. I like vinyl. I think that's where I stand. Cork and I have a long-standing relationship. Vinyl and I just started dating. I don't know where we stand. Cindy wants to know how everyone's swap projects are going, and so do I. How are your projects going? I hope they're going well. I've seen some updates from some of you. I'm very excited for your recipients. I think they're going to be over the top. So I can't wait. If you have questions, email me. If you want to post a sneak peek, just remember, don't tag your partner. And I would say don't show the finished project. Maybe let your swap partner show that when they get it. But tag, you know, don't tag. Hold on. Show some pictures, because we're all nosy. We all want to see. So Terry said that cork could be for the backing of embroidery projects. That's a great idea. I think, like I said, the cork on the front is good quality. It's the backing that makes it light. So it's not something that I want to get into carrying just because I think it's going to get too confusing, but have at it. It's yours. And once it's gone, it's gone. So let's see. Oh, Heather is done. Heather's done with her project. That's awesome. Shelly said mine is going slowly. But it'll get done. That's all right. All right, so let's talk a little bit. Oh, the pattern on the shelf, the blue cork and the dark colors. I'm going to have to look afterwards, Jean. It's really not easy for me to see everything behind me. I'll have to take a look later and tag you and show you some pictures. So it's just very difficult for me while I'm facing this way to do that, and I don't have anyone here with me. But I will definitely show you that later and tag you on the pattern. So can I show the cork again? Yes. So this is that light cork, okay? So you see how it's very fabricy, it's very drapey. It's the black, solid black on the front, and it is a light natural color on the back. It's thin. You can see the edge of it. It's much thinner. So regular cork, the cork that we sell, I think is closer to that of a vinyl, a high quality vinyl, where this is kind of like a canvas weight. It's not a super, super heavy. I think, again, it's going to hold up in low, what is the word I'm looking for? Like low wear kind of areas. If I made a whole bag out of that, I don't think it would have enough stability unless I interfaced it. That's, and it kind of depends on what you're making and what machine you have. So I think for practice cork or for embroidery projects, for, little things, I think absolutely it would be a good cork for you. So I'll let you take a look at that. So, all right. So what am I working on this weekend? That was a question. I have no idea because I have been trying to plan, and unfortunately I got back like late Sunday, and then I was so tired on Monday You know, why does traveling make you so tired when you literally don't do anything? I didn't fly the plane. I was just sitting on it, but it makes me tired. So I got home and I was just kind of bleh. I didn't have a car on Monday because my car had a warranty issue. So it had been at the dealership since I left. So we had to go get that. And I just couldn't get my act together on Monday. Tuesday, I was starting to get a little bit more amped up, and now it's Wednesday and I'm leaving tomorrow. So of course I'm trying to decide. I have some new things in mind. I could not sleep last night because I had all these ideas running through my head and I was making lots of notes. So I have ideas, I have video ideas, I have a lot of stuff. And I think I just need this weekend where I'm not doing Facebook, I'm not answering emails. I'll still post stuff, but I think I just need this creative weekend listening to sewing machines and laughing and eating snacks and just working. So I have some cork. I've started to pack some stuff. I don't have anything for linings, which is always my problem. So for those of you that are super organized before you go and sew anywhere, you're my hero. Like, I bow down to you. I am the person that I tell you guys not to be. Don't go to a retreat unprepared. That's me. So I'm doing the best that I can, but I want to work on a new idea. I did kind of a prototype and now I need to see it as like an actual bag. So I want to work on a new pattern, and I actually want to make a new Lola bag. I don't know why, but I just looked at Lola and I was like, I need to make a new Lola. And I have a cork that I've been eyeing that I want to make it out of. And I also want to make a new trendsetter. And this is because of Shannon. So in the last virtual retreat, Shannon made a trendsetter with vinyl. And it blew me away because that pattern is one of my older patterns and I haven't played with it in a while. I didn't forget about it. I mean, it's right there. I'm looking at it. I didn't forget about it, but you know, new things come in and I was like, I need to make a new trendsetter. I really do. So I want to try a trendsetter all in cork, see what kind of measurements I need, see, you know, what changes I want to make, and just kind of play around. So yes, time with like-minded friends is wonderful. You are absolutely right, Terry. And Cindy, you can email me with all of your questions. That is absolutely fine. Amy wants a mini Evie. Amy, technically the Emily is a mini Evie, but I know you probably want that zippered flap. So that is something that has been requested. It's in my noggin, along with the list of videos that just keeps getting longer. I am trying to get all of these things done, but I'm one person and I can't seem to accomplish anything. So this is definitely my you time. So, oops, I scrolled way too far. This is why I don't watch the part of the video with me, because I just keep looking at my hair, which is looking funky right now. Okay, so let's talk about Houston. So a few people, and I don't think it was anyone necessarily from Facebook. I think it was some people like on Instagram and on YouTube, I think misunderstood me or just assumed because I usually go to Houston Quilt Festival as a vendor. And a few people were like, where are you? Like, where's your booth? I did not have a booth. And the reason I chose not to have a booth, there's a few reasons. Number one, I've shown you guys like this area, the half of the office that I share with my husband, I took over. Part of going to a show means I would have to take all of this stuff. I would have to dismantle this entire office. I need my grid wall, I need the product, I need all that. Right now, because of COVID and because of everything, our inventory is a little bit lower. It might not seem like it to you guys because we keep bringing in new corks and, you know, different things. Some of our inventory is a little bit low. Excuse me. So if I were to pack that up, it would be less stuff that they would have for website orders. Plus, I think I have a little PTSD from those times where I would be away and I would run out of something in the booth and I would text Barb and say, hey, can you hold this? Or she would text me and say, we're out of something and we need this. So it's just, there's a lot of planning that goes into having a booth that I was not prepared for. I haven't done it in almost 2 years. It's getting up there. So I haven't had that moment like to sit down and plan. It was a financial thing. It's a lot of money to invest. You know, I'm very upfront with you guys. I'm not gonna, you know, I don't sugarcoat it and I don't lie to you guys. Going to a show is never going to be cheap when you are a vendor. It can be for you guys if you are good about budgets or if you can actually look at things and not buy them. I don't know how that works, tell me. But as a vendor, you are putting out money that you may or may not get back. It's a gamble. And it was a gamble 2 years ago, but it's an even bigger gamble right now. I have to pay for the booth. That's not negotiable. I have to pay for electric. That does not come with the booth. You guys probably didn't realize that, but you have to pay for electricity to be brought to your booth. I have to pay for tables. We usually get a couple, but it's never enough. I have to pay to get there. There's a bug. You know, hotels, food, whoever's coming with me, product, all that. It's a lot. And right now, it just didn't seem like the smartest decision. I would rather be here doing things like this with you guys. I would rather be working on my YouTube channel, which I never had time to do. I always, in the back of my mind, wanted it, but I never had time for it. And I would play it off that I didn't want it because I didn't have the time and I didn't have the know-how. And surprisingly, it's easier than I thought. So there's a lot of factors that went into it. And being that it was, you know, one of the first shows, somebody from France is calling. I have a feeling that's not for me. Being that it was one of the first shows, there's been a few others, but it was one of the bigger shows that, you know, finally jumped in and started it. I give so much credit to all of the vendors and all of the people that went and tried it out. I was just not willing to try it yet. And I don't know how I feel about shows right now as far as being a vendor. Do I miss it? Yes. I miss seeing your faces. I miss picking out, you know, cork with you and bags with you. I'm sorry, I just looked down and Barbara said, your car warranty. Yes, it was probably my car warranty calling. I'm sorry. I got really distracted. But anyway, that was really funny. There's, this is what happens when I get distracted. Just laughing. But mentally I wasn't there. Physically, it's a lot of labor and I wasn't there. And I need more time to figure that out. And so in staying home, I know what my costs are. My costs are pretty much fixed. I pay for my office, you know, there's those things. Inventory is always going to be up and down, but not having to put money out and know if I'll get it back or not, I just wasn't there. When I pay for my office, we're using it. I need it. You know, when you pay for a booth and you may or may not get that money back, or it might not be what you expected, that was a hard decision. So as far as doing shows, I have already decided I'm taking next year off. 100%, I am not vending at any shows in 2022. That does not mean I won't be at them. It does not mean I'm not teaching at them. It doesn't mean I won't go just to check things out. But I have already decided that for next year, I am not vending. If you remember it was like a month or so ago, I also sold my van. So in order for me to get to a show, I need a vehicle. And I don't have one big enough for all this stuff. I do have a husband who has a truck and a trailer. I don't do that. I don't drive trailers. If you want me to pull forward, that's fine. If you want to back something into a spot, not happening. Not at all. So if I'm going to go to something, I would need him. It's just a whole thing. So I apologize if anybody misunderstood or was disappointed that I wasn't at the show. A few people had, you know, emailed me and messaged me and they're like, where are you? And I was like, I'm walking around. So being a spectator is something that I rarely ever got to do before or chose to do before. So it was very interesting. And again, whatever I say about the show and what I saw is really just my opinion. And other people might feel very differently. So when it comes to being a spectator, I realize now why a lot of you would get frustrated at shows when you're walking down an aisle and someone stops dead in front of you. When you're trying to get in a booth and it's really busy or you can't find the register. I did find one booth, that had some bag making supplies. And I was like, I want to buy a couple. I want to see what's out there right now. I want to see what the quality is. I want to try some stuff out. I thought I was waiting in line, and little did I know there was another line that was just getting longer and longer and longer, and I was not in the right place. And nobody said anything to me like, hey, by the way, the line starts back there. They just kind of ignored me. And we always tried not to do that. Like, you know, there was always 2 of us or 3 of us. We always tried not to do that. And to say, I'm sorry, the line actually starts here, or is there something I can help you with? Hold on a second. I felt very ignored, which it is what it is. But I didn't buy anything. And I literally spent $20 at the show. I bought one thing, which I did not bring with me. I don't know why. I bought a set of handles just to try them out. They're the kind that have, they're like a rolled handle and they have the flat part that you have to hand stitch. I have no use for them at all, but I was like, they're cute and I feel like I want to buy something. So I bought something. Again, didn't have a great experience. I don't know why. And I tell my husband this all the time. I measure people based on how I interact with people. And I think there's a lot of things you could probably say about me. There's a lot of things people in the world will say about me. One thing is that you can't deny I'm very polite. I've always been polite. I say please and thank you constantly. I don't like offending people. I say I'm sorry constantly, even when I didn't do anything wrong. My mom said to me once, why do you apologize all the time? I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize constantly. So I'm very, very polite. And I like when people are enjoying themselves and having a good time. And I don't ever like when somebody feels left out. So when I would vend, I would always make sure that everybody knew that I saw them and I acknowledged them. And no, Amy, not in the Elna booth. I felt very welcome in the Elna booth. Not at all. Amy was working in the Elna booth. Of course, I felt very welcome there. That was an amazing experience, which I'll tell you guys about in a minute. I have just always tried to go out of my way, regardless of where I am, to be polite to people. And so I just expect that from other people, and maybe my expectations are too high, but I felt a little like ignored several times, and it wasn't just in one spot, it was in a lot of places. It just, I don't know, it wasn't a warm, fuzzy feeling. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's me and my expectations being too high, or if it's the other people were not having a good time. I don't know. Shelly, I agree. Shelly said I put stuff back because I couldn't get someone to wait on me. And my booth was always great. Thank you. And that was the thing, is that I did put stuff back. I was more than happy to buy stuff, but no one would make eye contact with me. And what I noticed in this booth, there were two people on staff, and one was standing by the register. One was standing to the side. And I looked and I was like, okay, there's only one register. They seemed to be talking to someone, like doing a demo. So I was like, and then the other lady was ringing someone out. So I was like, well, if she's being rung out, then I should stand behind her. It made sense. It was logic. And I did. And then next thing I knew, there was a line and they were just pulling people in and ringing them out. And I was not, they wouldn't even look at me. And that bothers me. So that's why I put stuff away and I just walked away. And Cindy, you're making me laugh. They obviously did not know who you are. Nobody knows who I am, nor do I care. I know you're joking. I know you're making a joke. I am not that person. Please don't ever think, if this is your first time watching me on YouTube and you don't know anything about me, I am not that person. I have never used that term in my life where I'm like, don't you know who I am? Because the answer is always no, and it's fine. So, Cindy, I know you're totally kidding. It's fine. But, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I don't expect anyone to treat me any differently than anyone else. And that was how I always acted when people came into my booth. I don't care who you are. I don't care your gender, your age. I don't care about any of that. I will help you. Just be polite to me and I'll be polite to you, and that's it. And I'm even polite to people that are not polite to me. That's something I don't miss about vending. So as a spectator, I definitely can understand the frustrations that sometimes would be felt, because I would see people waiting in line in our booth. And for me, I was like, this is awesome. We're busy. We're so busy, we have a line. But to you, the person who's fourth or fifth in line, you're going, ugh, I just want to get out of here. I've been standing here all day. So I would always say, thank you for waiting. I'm sorry about the line. Did you find everything? Is there anything you can do? Is there anything I can do? You know, is there anything that you need? And I don't know. I wasn't feeling that. And so I did my video, which was great. It was really fun walking through and, you know, looking at the crowd. And I talked to a few of my friends and I got mixed reviews on the show. And you're always going to get that. Some people are blatantly honest and will tell you that it's good or bad. And some people kind of sugarcoat it. You know, you never know. Some people said, I'm so glad I came. It was a great show. We've done fantastic. And I was like, great. I'm happy for you. A few other people were like, it hasn't been bad. It's been better than we expected, but it's definitely not what we are used to. So one thing you have to know about Houston, if you've never been, okay? And like my mom has been to shows, but my mom has never specifically been to Houston. My foot's falling asleep. Hold on. Okay. My mom's never specifically been to that show. Here's the thing to know about that show if you've never been. Let's go back a few years, 2019. That show typically has well over, like, into the 2000s for, aisles. They usually have about 1,000 vendors. This year, I was told they had about 440. So that's less than half, okay? That's quick math for you right there. So that's a big drop. The booth numbers went up to 1,400. That in a smaller show is not uncommon. Like that was a good size show for a different area. For this show, that's definitely very small. But I was pretty impressed considering we are still in the midst of a pandemic. People had to wear masks when they were vending, when they were walking around. You were told that on the website, you were told that on signs, and that I know is a big turnoff for some people. I understand. It wasn't the most comfortable thing. I have been very lucky and fortunate that through all of COVID, I rarely ever have had to wear a mask because I work alone. So unless there's a customer in the office, I rarely ever have to wear one. I have a lot of people in my life that have had to wear them from day one, 8 hours, 10 hours a day. And I understand how annoying and frustrating it can be. So just as a spectator walking around, I think we were there probably about 4 or 5 hours on Friday. It was a lot. And I understand that that could be something that some people don't want to do. Some people still have health concerns and aren't comfortable going. Some people don't want to deal with a crowd in general. Being that I'd spent almost 2 years, it was definitely, I felt the crowd, like you could feel that it was busy, but it wasn't what I was used to. And what you have to remember, this show, I think it said on their website or in the book, they've been around since 1975, I believe, for Quilt Festival, which, I'm doing math. I was born in 1980, 41, so 46 years, I think, if I did that right. That's a lot of years. And you know that from 1975 till now, there's been shows that have been up and down and all over the place. They've had shows that were super busy, shows that were not as busy. This show was kind of in the middle. And so my mom was like, wow, there's actually a lot of vendors. It looks pretty, it looks decent. And I was like, but keep in mind, we're at less than half of the capacity. This is not what it normally looks like. There was one very large aisle in the center that was about 4 widths, where normally it would have been 1. So there was a lot of stuff that was very, very different this time. We got through the aisles pretty quickly because there weren't too many crowds, except in some of the front aisles like I showed you guys. But overall, I'm happy I went. We had a great time. It was fun hanging out with my mom. I'm glad we got to see things. But I know that it wasn't for me, and I don't feel any disappointment in not being a vendor. Will I be one in the future? I have no idea. I honestly don't know. This is something my husband and I have been talking about for the last 2 days, trying to figure out how we both feel about it, because he does travel with me for some of the shows. We're not the husband-wife thing where we're at every show together, but he's been to a few. Some of you have probably met him at shows. So I'm kind of debating on how I feel about that. But I do want to start teaching again. I haven't been teaching because obviously there hasn't been a place to teach, but I want to start teaching again. I have some shows lined up for next year. I'm teaching in Branson, so we'll be at that show, and I'll do Facebook from there. I'm teaching in Paducah. I have a couple of guild things lined up, so I definitely want to go and do some different things. COVID changed a lot and kind of transitioned me into a different place. And I don't know if I'm going to stay in this place, but for right now, I kind of like it. And I think you guys kind of like it. You like our Facebook videos and YouTube. I'm just reading some comments. Shelly said she heard some talk that people were boycotting because of the mask requirement. That does not surprise me. And here was the thing. There's always somebody that wants to argue on Facebook. You guys probably know it. Maybe you know someone who's like that. I know it's not you guys. There's always somebody that's looking for an argument or looking to be unhappy for some reason. I don't get it, but whatever. If that's how you want to spend your day, that's your thing. So I was really impressed with how many posts Quilts Inc. had put up. Normally they post a little bit on social media. I don't know if it was because they had more time. I don't know if they got a new person. I don't know what the situation was, but they were posting every day, multiple times a day, showing the crowd outside, showing, a booth, and they were tagging it, and it was nice. Here's this booth, look at what they're doing. So it was really nice. And then what would happen was every time they would show a picture in the lobby. Now, the lobby is part of the convention center, but it's not part of the show. You did not have to wear your mask in the lobby. You could, but you did not have to. The requirement was in a class, in the booth, whether you're working or shopping, unless you were eating or drinking, which you can't do on the show floor anyway, you have to have your mask on. It was very clearly written on the website. It was very clearly written in the book. There were signs everywhere. But the point of contention for people came from the fact that Texas doesn't have a mask mandate right now. So how can you tell me I have to wear one? And how come people in the lobby aren't wearing one? That doesn't make any sense. And Quilting tried to explain, because we don't run what goes on in the lobby. We're running our show and our classes. Some people were very bitter and upset about this, and that's fine. You know, if you want to be upset, if that's what you choose to do with your day, that's up to you. But I knew going into it, and so did my mom. I said, don't forget, we're going to have to wear our masks, which we had anyway. We had to wear them on the plane. So we had our masks on for probably 75% of the time we were in Texas. It's fine. We chose to do that. But I understand if you don't want to do that. You know, I get it. Shows can be hit or miss regardless of, you know, pandemic time or not. There can be so many factors. And right now, the mask was a factor. That was a factor for a lot of people. It can be political. As stupid as it is, people will use politics when it comes to shows. It's the climate. If there's a storm or if there's, you know, bad weather or good weather, that affects shows. There's so many different things. For me, I understand if you didn't want to deal with the mask, I got that, but I knew it going into it, so I wasn't going to complain about it. And apparently the people that didn't feel that you could tell them what to do were being very rude to the staff at Quilt Inc., which I don't agree with. If you tell me in your place of business that I have to wear a mask, or I have to stand over there, or I have to pay with my credit card, not cash, it's your business. I'm going to do whatever you tell me to do. I don't understand the arguments, but that is just me. So, let me see, I'm just going back a little bit here. Yep. Yes. Oh, Terry, you're coming to see me in Branson. Awesome. Yes, Branson, Missouri. Heather, I will be in Branson for the Quilt AQS show. So if you are interested in that, in information about that and where it is and dates, it's quiltweek.com. They'll give you all of their dates. I am listed as an instructor, but they haven't put the classes on yet. As soon as I get the thumbs up and they put it on their website, I will put it on the front page of mine, the home page. So if you're interested in taking a class with me, you can come take a class. Otherwise, I am going to plan a meetup, and I think I'm aiming for Friday because Friday is my day off. I have classes Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So I think we're going to do something on Friday. I haven't decided what. I keep saying we have time. It is November. I do need to decide soon. And Ginny and Diane, who are in the Branson area, said if I needed help, they would help me. So I will be picking their brains soon, and I will let you know what we're doing. Amy wants to be my room assistant. Amy, I would love that, but I have no idea if they have put me in a Janome room or not, because even though I am associated with Janome, sometimes I get bumped and put into other rooms, and I don't know why. And my mom is coming with me, but I hope I will see you. I hope, even if you're not my assistant, I hope you can come and assist anyway. I would love to have an extra set of hands in our classes. That would be awesome. So let's see. What else did I want to tell you about the show? Like I said, I didn't buy anything. Like, I spent $20. I was not going in it looking for fabric. I do not need to buy any more fabric. I was looking in it to hope, hold on, those weren't words. Oh, let me try it again. I was hoping to find either some cool gadgets to bring back and say, hey, look at this cool new thing that I found. I didn't seem to see anything that I hadn't already seen or already shared with you guys. And I was also hoping to maybe find something in the bag making world that was just even an interesting topic, even if it wasn't something for us to carry or sell, just something like, hey, have you guys seen this trend? I didn't really see anything. And like I said, I am not here to knock any of the vendors that were there. I give them so much credit for jumping right into this in the middle of all this nonsense and to say, we're going to do it. We're going to put the money out. We're going to spend the time. We're going to do, the show. I think that was awesome. It just wasn't for me. But I didn't really see anything new and great, and I just avoided fabric altogether because I knew that if I saw something, I was gonna buy it, and I don't need any more fabric. I have fabric here. And so I don't really sew with fabric that I don't sell because I'm usually making a sample. So, Jean, if not teaching at a show, are you going to do some online classes? So, that's a great question. So as far as my online virtual Zoom classes, I have put them on hold temporarily. The reason is, there's always factors into everything. I don't mind doing them. I have fun doing them. I enjoy teaching, but the Zoom classes, I saw that they were slowly declining in enrollment. And when we started doing the virtual retreats, everybody would rather do that. And we had a very long discussion at the last virtual retreat. And so I'm kind of leaning towards that for next year rather than classes. I'm not saying that they're out completely, but I haven't scheduled anything right now. Between the videos that I do on YouTube, which are free, completely free, I'm doing, each time I release a pattern, I do a video, and I'm going backwards and trying to do some of my old bags and, and try to catch up on that. It's very difficult when you start a channel this far into your pattern career. And now I'm trying to go backwards and, and add those on, but I'm doing the best that I can. I'm working as fast as I can. I cannot seem to get this Evie video finished. I just keep getting distracted, but that's not your fault. So I'm not doing any virtual classes right now, but I'm going to schedule some more virtual retreats. And if there's something that you're looking for, if there's a group of you that want to do one specific class, and you want to pick a date and time that works for you, I am happy to do that. I think the problem sometimes, and this is the problem with classes anywhere, whether it was at Log Cabin, at the Quilt Shop that I don't really work there, but I'm always there anyway, or if it was virtual, I pick today, Wednesday, November 3rd, we're doing this class, and you're like, I want to take that class. I don't have Wednesdays available. Or I have Wednesdays, but I don't want to make that bag. So there's always going to be that conflict. If there's a bunch of people that want to do something and there's a group of you that are like, hey, would you teach us something? Email me. I can set something up. That's not a problem. I would rather put my energy into doing something that you want rather than making this insane schedule for myself and then nobody signs up for the classes. Yes, and Amy said, talk about the amazing quilts on display. Don't be mad at me, but I didn't really look at the quilts. I know, I'm sorry. This is one of my biggest flaws when it comes to shows. I go to quilt shows and I don't look at the quilts. I was with my mom. I'm going to use her as my excuse because my mom is not a quilter. And my mom went to the show with me Thursday afternoon. She spent like 5 hours with me on Friday. And then we popped in on Saturday as well. We spent more time at the convention center than anywhere else in Houston. And she was a good sport. She never once complained. She never once said, can we please not go here? She was great. But walking through aisles of quilts, I would have had her attention for 30 to 40 seconds at most. So I did not look. I've seen more of the quilts online than I have in person, but they're amazing, absolutely amazing. And if you haven't looked yet, go to the Facebook page or even Instagram for Quilts International, and you'll see all of the, they posted a bunch of pictures and winners. The quilting is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I just am not the person that goes and looks at them. So I'm really sorry. But something I did take a look at that shocked me and I didn't know it was happening because my friend Amy didn't tell me. I popped in the Janome booth and looked around and looked at machines because I always want another machine because why not? It's Janome. And so Janome is sister companies with Elna. And so I was like, let me see if there's anyone in the Elna booth that I know. And that's where Amy was working. So I went over to Elna and I was walking around and went, hey, those are my bags. There were a bunch of my bags hanging up and I didn't know that they were there. It was like a total surprise and Amy had made them. So it was just like a really exciting surprise to walk in and be like, those are my patterns. So the gentleman that owned the shop that was in that booth, he was like, oh, if you have any questions, whatever. And he's like, and these bags were made by Amy. And I said, I know those bags because those are my patterns. And he goes, oh, you're Jennifer. And I was like, Jessica, but close enough. So it was fine. But I was like, yeah, those are my patterns. He goes, we were just talking about you. So, it was unexpected. It was super exciting, and fun to see friends and to see everybody. If you watch the video, I did finally get a chance to actually go and talk to Jenny from So Kind of Wonderful. They were slammed every time I tried to get in that booth, which is awesome. But, you know, it's nice to see friends and to see what's going on. And, you know, so we had a great time. We did. Let me see. You guys love the videos. Thank you. I am glad. I just looked this morning, just curiosity, and I am at 7,200 subscribers on YouTube, which, again, I know that that's piddly to some of these people that have millions, but I'm super excited about it. I have spent the last year and a half trying to, you know, figure out my space, my, you know, spot. I have a video studio, which I've been neglecting, but I have to get out there again. You know, just the fact that I can at least hit that number on YouTube, and like I'm slowly building up a nice following, it makes me so happy. If you're watching me on Facebook and you are on YouTube, please subscribe. I do things on there that I can't do on Facebook, you know, like the Daybreak wallet, you know, free projects, things I can't do on Facebook, and I upload all of these to Facebook. So I'm trying to be really diligent about posting new videos every week, whether they are Facebook videos or tutorials. I do have a ton of stuff on my list. Good news is my husband told me that he's going to cut my work schedule back a little bit, so I don't have to be chained to this desk as much as I normally am. We hired someone. I'm not getting my hopes up because it never works when I get excited, but hopefully I will get to actually be in my video studio more. Thank you, Barb. My following is awesome. So is my staff. Thank you. Ginny, did you get to that thread booth that Pat wanted you to check out? I did. And actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. Superior Threads is who Pat had asked me to go see their booth. My mom couldn't find their number. She was looking on her phone, and sometimes those apps are weird. We couldn't find it while we were live, so I did go back later. I couldn't get a video because they were actually really busy. And if you've never been in the Superior Threads booth, they basically have just this long table. They put table after table in the front and the same thing along the back, and they just stack it full of thread. So everybody flocks there because there's so much space to see everything. I did get some pictures. I did include them, and I tried to tag them. I think it tagged correctly. Excuse me. But yes, I did. And somebody else had asked me, and this was one of those funny things. Barb and I were talking about this, and Marlene the other day. When you go to a retail show, which Quilt Festival was, just because Janome is shown as the vendor, it's not necessarily them. They're not selling directly to you. They have a dealer, but they put their name down because then you're like, oh, I want to buy a Janome. So you go find the Janome booth. If I put down a random dealer's name, I might not know what they sell. So somebody had said to me, can you show us the Husqvarna booth? So I was like, of course. So I look under H's. I don't see anything. So I look under V for Viking. I don't see anything. I'm like, well, that's really weird. I know they must be here. They were under the name of the shop that sells them. They weren't under the name of the machine. So I could not find them until like the last minute. And we walked by and I went, oh, there they are. So I don't know if I even got a picture because the way their booth was set up, it was hard to. So whoever asked me to see their booth, I apologize. It was harder to find than I had expected. So I didn't get a chance to. Let me see. I'm just looking at some questions. Let's see. Hi, Marlene. You are late, but that's fine. All right, so I think, no, Amy, I did not see the new black HD9, but I have heard about it. Now I need another machine because it's a different color. Thank you, Amy, for feeding my habit. No, I did not. I very badly wanted to go home with an M7. Very, very, very much. Do I need it? No. Do I ever need a new machine? No. Do I want one because I don't have one? Yes. Yes, I do. Of course. Of course I want an M7. But I did not because it's very hard to put that in your suitcase. So I did not buy much of anything. And I really didn't see a lot of purse supplies. I didn't see any gadgets or anything. So a little bit of a bummer, but it's okay. It's fine. Oh, you're welcome, Pat. I'm happy to share info I have about shows. So I think it seemed like you guys really liked that. It was fun. It was fun to kind of walk through a crowd. I don't think I made too many people angry. I did almost run over somebody in a scooter, but she was cool about it. At least I wasn't getting run over by the scooter. It happens. So yeah, I don't know, I kind of had fun doing that, and I won't be able to do it again until Branson. That will be the next show that I will be at because I'll be teaching. So I will definitely walk around that Friday and do a video so you can see a different show. It's still a quilt show, but it's a different company that runs it, and everyone does theirs a little bit differently. And so I'm excited about that. As far as everything else coming up for the rest of this year, which, can you guys believe we literally have like 2 months left? It gets blowing my mind. I am working on, I hope at least, sorry about that. I'm hoping that I will have at least one new pattern. Can I get more than that done? We don't know. I'm going to try. Like I said, I have a lot of ideas. Sometimes ideas take longer to get onto paper than others, so we will see. I do want to try to get at least one more pattern done. I do want to get more videos done. Aside from the full tutorials, I also want to get some like instructional videos. Like I want to do like a twist lock video, a hardware, you know, different types of hardware. I have some other little things I want to try to get done. So I definitely have a very long list of things to work on in the next 2 months. We do have a virtual retreat coming up the first weekend of December. So it's the weekend following Thanksgiving, not Black Friday weekend, the weekend after. I consider Thanksgiving to start Thursday and end Sunday. So it's the weekend after that. If you're interested, I think there's a few spots open. Our January in-person retreat is full. I am so ecstatic about that. I am blown away. Barb, thank you so much. She has basically planned all of the stuff behind the scenes. I do some of the other stuff, but really it's because of her that we can do an in-person retreat, because I don't know anything about that at all. I could probably figure it out, but I'm not going to. I have Barb. So our January is full. Our March only has a few spots open. So if you were contemplating and interested, March is getting there. Funny thing about March, well, let me tell you, January, we have a very large group of people that are coming from this area that are my friends that I hang out with. People from Log Cabin, people from like our little circle there. So it's kind of cool that that will be a very different feel in that retreat, because it's, you know, it's a retreat, but I'm also hanging out with like a group of my friends. And then on top of that, which, I mean, you know what I mean, you're all my friends, but it's like a different whatever. So then there's March, where I have so many people coming from out of town that they actually outnumber the people that are local, which is so funny to me. I have people coming from New Jersey. I have someone coming from Texas, Miss Shelley. I have people coming from Florida. I have somebody coming from, I think, Connecticut. It's why that retreat. I mean, I'm sure it's weather because it's closer to springtime, but it's just so funny that the March retreat is going to be like a lot of people from other states. So, you know, in October, Ginny and her husband drove all the way out from Missouri, but the majority of the other people that were there were local within a few hours. So then we kind of just have like these January and March are kind of this mix of people. So it's going to be really exciting. I'm very, very, very excited and looking so much forward to, you know, to getting to those retreats, because I kind of miss it. We did October and I was so pumped, and now I have to wait till January. So some of you are going to Barb's retreat in November. I am not there. But we have, like I said, a few spots left in March. So if you want to come in March, get on it now, because it's getting full. We have a couple of day tripper spots and a few spots left over for the overnighters. I don't know what you call them, day trippers and stayers. I don't know. So I think that's it. I cannot believe I had 53 minutes worth of stuff to tell you, but why am I surprised? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Just looking at my notes. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to tell you. I think that was everything. So again, I will not be here this Friday. I will be off sewing. You'll probably hear from me. Excuse me. If you email me, I will try to get back to you as promptly as I can. Excuse me, what is going on? However, I don't have the best internet there. So if I'm delayed in responding to you, that is why, but I will do the best. I do miss you, Barb. Yes, it's very weird talking to the camera and not looking to the left and seeing them. So we haven't done this in a very long time where I've been alone. It's very strange. So hopefully when I come back next week, I'll have some things to show you and we'll figure out what our topic is, because most of the time I have no idea. If you guys have topic ideas or have anything that you want me to cover or cover again, or if you have something you want me to make a video to put on YouTube, let me know. Send me an email, leave a comment, tell me what you want. I'm here for you. So I want to do what you guys want me to do. Other than that, I think I'm going to go. I'm scrolling through and I'm not seeing anything else that I missed. Yes, Friday is going to feel weird for me too, Pam, because I don't know what to do with myself on Friday at 11 when I don't sit and talk to you guys. So I will definitely miss you. Thank you for coming on an impromptu Wednesday, and I will see you next week. So not this Friday, the next Friday. If you need me in the meantime, send me an email, leave me a comment, and I'm going to go upload this to YouTube. You guys have an awesome rest of your week, and I hope that you get some fun sewing done. Don't forget, I want to see your swap stuff. So, all right. Bye, guys.